to let go of judging yourself and having to figure it all out. So for this example, we will be doing surgery on my childhood teddy bear, Magenta. You are Magenta. Beyond the physical vessel, I will find the soul. This is actually what you are. You might think that Magenta is you because you have an identity, your name is Magenta, this is what you look like, your family comes from here, you were born here, everything that makes up of your egotistical identity, the character you're playing in this video game. Now you're the soul, and when you reincarnate into a physical body, you forget that you are this divine, spiritual, infinite light being. You forget every other body you've plopped yourself into. You get the full experience of being Magenta in this lifetime. The only reason you judge yourself is because you're so identified to Magenta. You're identified to the ego. You're identified to the character, to the thoughts and the emotions, and this is my story. This is what happened to me. The more you identify with Magenta more than the soul, you will be an ego. An ego is a limited perspective of the human experience. Ego is your past trauma and your biggest fears. Ego is like pride trying to cover up that you feel so unworthy at the core of who you are. Your infinite spiritual divine being does not question if it's worthy or not. It just knows. It just is. Always has been. The more that you critique and judge yourself on the outside of yourself, you are too tuned in to this physical experience, if that makes sense. You must connect with your inner being, with your intuition, with this bad boy. This bad boy is just observing Magenta. This soul, this being, is just observing the character of Magenta. It already has unconditional compassion and love for Magenta. Your soul loves you absolutely unconditionally. It is only your ego that has been hurt in the past that finds the need to critique and judge what it does because it feels insufficient. Trying to figure it all out all the time is you do not feel safe. Your ego does not feel safe in this physical reality. Your inner being knows it is always safe. We have adopted beliefs throughout all of our time here. And those beliefs are stored within your emotional body. They're stored within your cells, your subconscious mind. Literally, your whole body remembers. You are just acting out of ego, out of past experience. You're seeking to soothe yourself. You're seeking to love yourself and finally be worthy. But you literally already have it inside of you. You are just tuning into the ego more that does not know. You, as infinite consciousness, a spiritual divine light being, must offer your unconditional love and compassion to the human character that you're playing. Only when you choose to trust this, only when you choose to receive what this being has to offer you, will you experience what is really aligned with you. You'll experience life without always being so hard on yourself and actually being in love with yourself. You are taught to hate yourself. You've been conditioned to deem yourself as unworthy in everything that you do. Loving yourself is literally a cheat code for this video game. It makes it a lot easier and more fun. Having a spiritual awakening is simply realizing that you're not this guy. You're temporarily embodying this, but you ain't it. To stop judging yourself, you must offer yourself love. In my journey of learning to love myself and offer myself more love, meditation is really what worked best for this simple reason that you literally sit down. This sits down at a table with this, and it's just like merged together. Your soul is always listening with love. You are observing with love the thoughts of the character. So by consistently closing your eyes and being so present with your ego's thoughts, you are offering more and more unconditional compassion to the ego. Literally, your ego is like your inner child and your soul is the parent. The more the parent listens, welcomes, and loves, the child feels safe. The child learns how to love itself as well. So basically, sit down for an hour with your eyes closed, set the timer, don't move until the timer rings. That is the best way you are going to get to know yourself because there are no distractions and nowhere else to run to. It's just you and you. I remember after a few months of doing this, there would be days where I would literally just sit in front of a mirror and connect with this part of myself and just ask it for forgiveness. Like, I'm so sorry I treated you like this. We only judge ourselves and treat ourselves like shit because we have this perceived notions that somewhere along the way we fucked up and now we're not good enough and we have to work really hard to gain that worth back or at all. You have always been worthy. And I know it sounds like rainbows and butterflies, but it's fucking true. And can you imagine what our world would look like if every human being genuinely loved every part of who they are? I would like to thank Magenta for being such a good sport today. I love you.